conditioner. Hold on a second. Damn it. Alright, good. What up, y'all? It's your homeboy Justin, and we back in the bathroom again. And this is gonna be a very honest video. So I'm recording this early just because it was on my mind because someone had asked me again on a video, and I just feel like I might as well address it. Guess there's an elephant in the room that people have been noticing and wanna try and figure out what it is. So let me tell y'all a story. A year ago, actually, when I turned 25 on my birthday, I had made the decision, and I was thinking about it for like weeks and weeks and weeks, that I would come out to my parents. And I was like, you know what, Justin, you're 25, are you gonna be 25? Like, what are you waiting for? What you afraid of? I mean, and there's a many plethora of answers to that question. But I just decided, like, the morning of that day, I was like, you know what? You just gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta grab the bull by the horns and just tell them. So we went to Bonefish Grill, great food, and got there, parents were there, and we got sat, and then we went with the menu. I was probably like not trembling, no, I was fine, like up until like a point. And so then my dad, we had ordered our food, and we were sitting there talking. My dad had got up to go to the bathroom. And so my my mom was sitting across from me, like you guys are right now. And that's when I thought, okay, well, it would be easier maybe to tell one parent at a time. So I just kind of said, Mom? She's like, what? And I don't even know what I said. To this day, I can't remember what I said because it doesn't really matter what I said. It matters what they said. And basically, I just kind of rambled about stuff. I don't even know what I said. I can't remember. And finally got to the point where I said, I'm gay to her. And she was just looking at me with these adorable little brown eyes, big old brown Louisiana eyes, just looking at me like this. And she was just like, okay, and? Or so. I don't know what she said. Something like either. She either said okay and or okay so. Why does it matter? And when I had said it, I started to cry. Obviously, it's just an emotional moment. There's a lot of magnitude that comes with it. And she just was basically the most, what's the word? She was very loving and accepting and understanding of it. And she was like, that doesn't mean I love you any less. You're still my son. You're still my baby. You're still my little big brother. Because, whatever, inside joke with my family. And so, like, for me, it was frustratingly anticlimactic because you put so much weight into the coming out process, especially when it's to family and to people who have known you your entire life. So that happened, and then, so like and you know what? For me, the reason I waited until we were in a public place because I knew it would be easier to do it if there was a lot of people around. I don't know why it was easier for me to do it that way, but I just felt more comfort knowing that if I could say it in a place where maybe people will overhear, I didn't care. I don't know why I waited until then. I just wanted to be, I don't know, just free of it. So I told her. She was completely okay with it and fine. She said, I still love you, da-da-da-da. That's fine, that's cool. Actually, funny enough, like later after I came out to her, there was one time where she was talking about, Justin, I don't care that you gay. She's like, my stand is still saying you can't be dating nobody any old kind of way, okay? He gotta be cute. And stuff like that, like, so we've gotten to a place now where it's like, it's funny. Like, we've gotten to a place where she's tried to find guys for me to date or to meet. So that's the beauty of the coming out process, is that you're able to finally live your authentic self. But back to the story. So after I told her, I'm still crying, shaking a little bit. I'm just like a giant teardrop, basically. I'll do an ugly, I wasn't doing the ugly cry, but it was definitely just like like this, like just nose kind of running, eyes all red and puffy. And then my dad comes back from the bathroom and he's looking like, what happened? What'd you say? Or what did he say? Or what happened? What I missed? Who died? You know? So he sat down and then he asked, what's wrong? And then my mom looked at me kind of like in a reassurance, like tell him, like you can tell him I'm here with you, I'm here for you kind of thing. And I told him, and I said, Dad, something, more rambling of something, trying to beat around the bush and not get to the point, but try to get to the point, but I was saying what the point was. And then I told him that, I was like, Dad, I'm gay. And he's like, okay, cool. And it was just, and again, anticlimactic. Like, and I was like, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know if I was expecting streamers to fall from the ceiling and balloons and cannons of confetti to pop off. I don't know what I was expecting. It was just so funny to me. Looking back on it, it was funny because it was just like, they were so, it was like it wasn't even a thing. Which is ultimately, you know, like at the end of the goal of this whole, like, you know, civil rights thing for marriage equality, for the LGBT community to get rights for adoptions and all those types of things. Like, that's what you want to be. You want it to be nothing. Like, it's not a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. But it is right now in this current point of time. But he was really cool about it. He was just like, I don't need to even know all them details. I'm like, Dad, would I give you all them details anyway? Like, even if I wasn't? I'm like, come on, man, you being ridiculous. But, so that's all that happened. My mama said, I love you, da-da-da. My dad said, I love you, da-da-da. And that was cool. And then I got my ahi tuna bowl, and she got her steak. Or no, I think I got steak and lobster, because it was my birthday, and I feel like I was going to treat myself. But I got that, drank my little berry sangria. We was all good. And again, this is only my story. This is my personal story. This is the experience that I had when I came out to my parents. I know that some people don't have as great of an experience. I know that some people, I don't know if anyone personally that's had a horrible experience, but I've seen stories and I've watched videos of people who came out and it was not great. And so I'm only saying this to say that come out on your own terms. Come out when you want to. Come out when it's comfortable for you. Come out when you're ready. Because really the thing about the coming out process is it's not more about what other people are going to say or how they're going to view you. It's more about coming to terms with who you really are and acknowledging it in front of everyone that this is who you are and you're okay with it. And that's the biggest thing, is that you put so much weight onto it because you're afraid of what people are going to think. I was afraid of what people think. I was like, what's up? I'm a person who thinks of like the worst situation, because, you know, I like to prepare for the worst. It's better to be prepared for the worst than to, you know, not just be completely unaware and then something bad happens to you. You're like, oh, I didn't think of that. You know, like, well, if you would have thought of that, you would have been prepared. I like to be proactive. So I was just thinking of these horrible scenarios of what would happen, but the thing was that I kind of was just viewing the horror stories of it and not the good stories of it. So thankfully, mine was a good story. Another story, when I came out to my brother, it was funny because he was talking about him and his then fiance, who's now his wife. He was talking about, I have an older brother and younger sister. Older brother Jared, younger sister Jade. So he was like, so Justin, when you gonna get somebody? Cause you know, I got Heather and Jade got Matt. So what you know? So whenever we do like a double date thing, like you ain't gonna ask somebody out? You know, you ain't got no great looking for. And I was like, well, not really. He said, well, why not? I said, well, cause I'm not really looking for any girl right now. He's like, oh, why? I'm like, I just don't know. He said, so what you saying? I'm like, I'm saying I'm not looking for a girlfriend. He said, but what you saying, Justin? Because my brother, he likes to deal with stuff with humor. So it was just funny. I was like, I ain't looking for a girlfriend. I'm looking for a boyfriend. And he said, so what you saying, Justin? And I was just like, I'm looking for a boyfriend. And he said, okay. So, and that was when we were cleaning up the yard at our parents' house. We were just doing some yard work or whatever. And so, like, that was like, as we were getting stuff done. So throughout the day, he was just asking questions or whatever, and this, that, and the other. And he was the one talking about, well, when I came out to him, he was the one talking about, or I asked him, I told him, I was like, man, that was kind of anticlimactic. He's like, what? I mean, like, nothing even happened. He's like, what, you want some balloons and streamers that fall from the sky? Which is why I said that thing earlier. He's like, what, you want a parade or something? I'm like, no, we already got parades. But yeah, so I actually came out to him on his birthday in July. It's so funny, something about birthdays. So that was in July, and then August and September. So there was 2 months that he knew that my parents didn't know. But him and my mama had jokes anyway, because they were talking about, does Justin know he gay? And I didn't, but whatever. They didn't really touch on it. They were waiting for me to get to a place where I could tell them. Which is also, if you're watching this and you're not a part of the LGBT community in terms of identifying with those sexual identities, and more so a part of it in terms of allyship, then don't force people out. Do not press it upon people. Do not make it your business to out someone else talking about, he's this, right? Or she's this. It is not your place to sell that. Bottom line, it doesn't matter what your intentions are. It doesn't matter if you're trying to do it for what's good for them. If they have not expressed they're ready to come out, don't make that your business, because it's not your business. And I think ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the point that I really want to make with this video, is that one, coming out has to be on your own terms if you're a person who is trying to deal with it, whether you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, asexual, polyamorous, whatever it is, if you're transgender, anything like that, on your own terms. And then anyone else who is a part of that in terms of being a friend of that person, or an ally of the community, wait for people. Wait. Don't press it on them. Don't force them out. Because people will do that all the time. They be like, hey, you think this person can? I'm like, I don't know, and it's none of my business. And I try to leave it at that, because me being a person who was in the boat, if they are, then that's up to them to disclose. It's not to me it's not for me to speculate. It's not for me to gossip about and put that type of cloud in the air, because it's not my business. And I don't want to be, for me, that's not good vibes. That's not good mojo. I don't want to do with all that. And that's not my place to say. So take those 2 grains of salt with this video if you can. But yeah. And then my mom told my sister that I came out to them like maybe 2 days after my birthday. And she put on a 3 call and she was like, Justin. And I'm like, Jay. And she said, Justin. And I said, Jay. And she like, what you mean? It took you all this time? So she was, hold on, is this thing still recording? Okay, I'm just making sure. Because sometimes, I don't know, I don't be trusting technology, I don't know why. But she was like, it took you long enough. I'm like, well, you just got to come to terms with things. She's like, I know, it's good. And then she said something, she's like, I had a feeling probably about midway through high school. I'm like, really? I'm like, well, yeah, it's obvious. The thing is, you think you'd be hiding in front of everybody knows. Even, oh my goodness, this was too funny. When my grandma came to visit for, I think it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'm not sure which holiday it was, I think it was Thanksgiving, my mama said, so Justin, we just gonna do this now, we're gonna have this conversation now, because I ain't trying to deal with all this, walking on eggshells for the whole time your grandma here. So you want something to tell her? You got something to tell her? And I was just like, oh my goodness, we just gonna do this now? And she said, tell me what? And I said, well, grandmama, you been wondering why I've never had a girlfriend, or I ain't blinking for nobody, you keep asking when I'm gonna get a girlfriend. So I just told her, I said, I ain't looking for a girlfriend. She said, what you looking for? I said, I'm looking for a boyfriend. And she said, oh, okay, I knew that. And I'm just like, oh my God. It's so funny to me, because you be thinking nobody know. And it's not that you think that nobody know. It's like you don't want to make it such an issue where you be talking about all the time. But I mean, she cool with it too. My grandma said, she gonna be 70 something, like early 70s. She okay with it. So there's hope for this world. But that's been that. And then ever since the Philando Castile, and I forget the other person's name, and I'm sorry I forgot his name, but there's so many people. But ever since that happened, and then the shooting in Orlando, I actually made a public Facebook post where I was talking about it just from my perspective, and talking about it from the perspective of someone who was both Black and gay, and the intersectionality of that. And it was refreshing to be so honest and open about it, especially on Facebook. It was also eye-opening, because that's when you learn who's really for you. From that post, I learned who was really down for the cause in terms of equality and justice for everyone, and who was more of like, well, I'll love you, but from afar, or, you know, that's cool, but and all I can say is that that's when you learn who your real friends are. That's all I can say. Because some people ain't for you. They for you when you good to them and when you can sing nice, but when you got some political views that they don't agree with, they gotta stay away. Especially in a religious sense, because hold on, my dreads falling out, got me getting all aggravated. But yeah. But that's the thing. And so it's been cool. I think once you're out, you can't really go back in. I mean, you can kind of, what's the word? You can, like, what's the word, conceal to a degree. I think the cool thing for me, in my perspective, about the LGBT community, especially in terms of the gay part, is that you can really, I've been able to experiment more with the gender fluidity of it, because there are days, for those who are not aware, there are days where people want to either dress or put on a more mask, and mask M-A-S-C, as in masculine portrayal of themselves, and sometimes you want to put more of a feminine or metro facade of yourself, and I think that's kind of cool to play around. I don't think straight guys have as much leeway because there's such this hegemonic masculinity thing where they have to prove how much of a man they really are all the time, and some guys do that. Some guys no. Some guys are cool with who they are, and they're actually, that's what some of my friends are like. Tom, if you watch this, Tom, you cool. You one of the good ones. But that's kind of one of the things that I like about this whole gay thing, is that you can really play up your masculinity or downplay it as much as you want to. I mean, at the end of the day, being gay has nothing to do with your masculinity. The only thing that gay determines is who you're sexually attracted to. And that's all it is. So I don't like to fill in my eyebrows because I'm gay. I don't like to do CrossFit because I'm gay. I don't like music because I'm gay. I don't like to sing at church because I'm gay. I just happen to be a person who likes guys and does all those things. And that's basically, there's a fly here. He's about to, I was gonna say some bad words. But yeah, that's my coming out story. And you know what? I was planning on doing this, but really what prompted me to do this is that people kept asking me in my videos, are you gay? Are you gay? Some people were just asking, hold on, like, okay, you stopped. Some people were just asking, and then some people were kind of accusing me, which was not cool. Again, like I said, don't out people. This fly. Hold on. We gonna get him. We gonna get him. I don't know what to do. I'm telling him. I'm sorry, y'all. But, and actually, funny enough, this one person who watched me from the Philippines decided to call me a word in Tagalog, which means transsexual, but not in a good way. It was a derogatory term for someone who's transsexual, which was interesting because I'm not trying to be transsexual. I'm not trying to change that. I'm merely a person who likes things. Guys. But yeah, thank you all who've been supportive of this channel thus far. And thank you for those who are going to continue watching. For those who are going to unsubscribe, or who are not going to continue watching, you've probably already stopped watching this video. But if you've made it this far, analyze if you're uncomfortable with this, or if you don't like it or approve of it. Just analyze why and figure out where the root of that's coming from. If it's from a religious standpoint, then I'm just whatever. But if it's from anything from that, just try to love, okay? Because that's all this is about. It's about love. So, yeah. Well, thank you all for listening. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this with other people if you want. If there's someone who you know who may be, what's the word? Like dealing with these issues or having trouble being their true selves or just accepting themselves and living their lives authentically, share it maybe. And share it with love, okay? Don't share it with like, oh, you better watch this because I think you. No, that's not cute. But yeah, just share this with her. I just felt like it would be myself a disservice to my community if I didn't share my story and show that there are good things that come of it, because there are very good things that come out of it. And yeah, but yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. There'll be more hair videos coming, every Monday-ish. And I guess that's it. So I said burp in my other thing. But yeah, this is just gonna be a one take. I'm not editing this because it ruins the authenticity. Well, until then, until next time, guys, I will see you when I see you. Don't remember to spread love, give love, share love, and open yourself up to love, okay? All right, then. Until next time, y'all. Peace.